This cold outreach strategy is short, it's kind of ugly, but it actually gets responses and actually helps you get meetings booked into your calendar. And if you're selling B2B and you're sick of getting ghosted when you're doing any sort of cold outreach, you should definitely try this strategy. I actually use this strategy for myself and my clients, which helps them get 3 to 5 high quality meetings booked into their calendar each and every single week. And I'm going to show you some quick examples that you could maybe use for yourself to start generating you more responses and more booked calls. Let's get into it. So you need to generate more leads for your business, and you've probably sat there and thought, okay, these are the people I'm going to reach out to. Now, let me go and craft the perfect cold outreach method, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's an email, whether it's an Instagram DM, Twitter, whatever it is. And you've probably thought, I need to cram as much information about my services and how I can help you and why I'm the best person in the world for this and for your services. And you've probably sat there and actually created an email that's probably looking even larger than this, or even larger than this example. And what I'm going to be walking you through is the difference between actually using sort of polished templated outreaches compared to ugly, simple outreach. So with the polished templated outreach, what's wrong with this a lot of the time is it looks like a pitch. So if someone's actually receiving an email that's looking like this, even though this isn't that long, and I've actually given some examples in other videos why these emails do work, but that's a whole nother story. If your email is looking like this and you're not getting responses, so you're getting ghosted and you're wondering, well, I've just created this perfect outreach template and I'm sending it to people and I'm doing it manually and adding some sort of personalization, and you're not getting responses, there's a few key reasons for that. So firstly, when you send a message like that, there's no curiosity. So if it looks like a pitch here, then they're not going to respond. It looks like a sales email. You look like every other person who's sending cold outreach. And more importantly, there's a lot of mental load. So when you're in the middle of the work week and someone's sent me this email like this, and I get them all the time, sent me a massive email like this, usually they're about twice as long as this, there's too much of a mental load for me to be able to go and digest all of this information and go, okay, what does this guy want from me? What does this person want from me? Are they going to try and sell me? Yes, probably. So there's so much information for me to download here in my brain and then think, okay, should I even respond to this message? So those are the sort of mistakes that happen, and that's probably why you're getting ghosted at the moment. But when you do this ugly, simple outreach, which I'll come to, where you're going to be asking one specific question and then leaving it as an open loop, I'm going to be explaining why it actually helps you get responses. So it's very low barrier for someone to reply to a very simple question like who's tackling your business development at the moment, compared to if someone's got to download all this information in their brain and then go and respond to you. And it's very curious as well. So when you leave it open-ended, it's an open loop. So you're not just asking a question where it's a yes or no answer. You're asking a question that's specific about their business and potentially about what's going on in their business and maybe what their pains are, blah, 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 blah. So, and I'll come to explain how that might pan out for you. And also these questions, this one simple question cuts through the noise massively in someone's inbox, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, email, whatever it may be. This simple question cuts through the noise. You could literally have an email that says, hi name, who's tackling your business development at the moment? And then sign it off. And then all they've got to do is respond. And then they're probably going to be pretty curious. Like, why is Ben asking me who's tackling your business development at the moment? This question in particular is actually working really well at the moment. So definitely give that a try and customize it to your business. But just going back to cutting through the noise, what you're going to respond to, or what's going to make you more curious, this email, which could be great, or this one simple question. I know for me, I'd be a lot more curious if someone just sent me this message, because they don't know that I'm trying to sell them. They don't know that I'm trying to actually get on a call with them. Obviously, you're not trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. I'm going to come to why you're actually sending these messages. And you're sending these messages because you need to know if this person in particular is in the market for your services. Whereas when you're doing like standard cold email, you're basically saying like, hey, I've got this solution. Do you want to have a quick call, or do you want X, Y, and Z, and I can help you do X, Y, and Z? Whereas with this, It takes a little bit more appointment setting because you're asking them a specific question. So who's tackling your business development at the moment? Are you doing cold email to generate more leads at the moment? Are you using specific software for lead generation at the moment? Are you hiring for a BDM at the moment? There's still got to be a little bit of back and forth, but that is when you can go and find, is this person in the market for my product or service? So if I send this to someone and say, who's tackling your business development at the moment? And I help people with lead generation and business development, client acquisition. And that person on the other end says, well, no one at the moment. Or if they say, well, I'm actually trying to handle it myself. And if they're the founder of the business, they shouldn't be doing client acquisition and lead generation. They should be focusing on the business. So then that's my in to say, okay, well, we offer X, Y, and Z. Obviously, there's more that goes into it than that, but that's your foot in the door. If they say, yeah, we've actually got a full team doing business development at the moment where we're pretty happy with the results, then obviously you would move on. So the point of these questions is to basically get a response so then you can understand if they're actually in the market for your services. So let's just go through some of these questions. So who's tackling your business development at the moment? We've gone through that. Are you doing specific thing to generate specific outcome at the moment? So the idea with all of these questions is it must be related to your service. So I wouldn't be, as a lead generation agency, I wouldn't be asking them, are you doing SEO at the moment? Because it's not relevant to me. But with, are you doing cold email to generate more clients at the moment? If they say no, then you say why. Or if they say no, then you say, well, have you considered doing X, Y, and Z? And if they say yes, we are doing cold email to generate more clients, you say, okay, cool. Is that generating any good results for you at the moment? Are you getting, 5 qualified booked calls every single week just through cold email? If they say no, then that's, again, you're in to actually go and say, okay, well, have you considered doing X, Y, and Z? All we're trying to do here is just get them to that next step. And here's another example. So are you using LinkedIn Sales Nav for lead generation at the moment? So this is very specific in terms of what I help people do. So I help people go and use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to go and help them generate 3 to 5 high quality leads on a weekly basis. Click the link in the description if you want to see how I might be able to help you. But the whole idea around this question is to basically explain, are you using maybe a specific software or a specific strategy to go and help them with a specific outcome? Here as well, so you might ask them, are you hiring for a business development manager at the moment? Or are you hiring for an SEO specialist at the moment? Whatever it may be, whatever your service is, you could ask that question, and then it's going to add pure curiosity as to why I'm asking that question, just to get that ball rolling and get that conversation going. And I've gone through on other videos to explain how you might actually find those people who are hiring for certain roles that you could help them fulfill. So for example, if I'm a website design agency and I know a list of companies who are looking to hire a website developer, I might say, are you hiring for a website developer at the moment? Or did your new software developer do a good job on your website at the moment? I can see that it's live. You've got to just think outside the box, track it back, ask the right questions. It's like chess. You're not sure what they're going to do next, but if you're planning the next move, then you can actually have a good conversation with someone if you're asking the right questions. So pulling all of this back into context, how can you actually go and get meetings booked in? So this is pretty much what it looks like. And what you want to be doing is making it extremely highly relevant. So those questions, when they're relevant and the timing is right, and you're sending those ugly, simple outreaches, you still have that next step. You still need to get to the point where you're offering your solution. So whatever your sort of sales and lead generation process looks like, what is the next step that you need to get them to? Are you going to offer them a Loom video to basically explain the breakdown of how you are actually going to go and help them generate more leads on a weekly basis? Do you want them to go and jump on a call with you? Are you going to send them a free audit? Are you going to conduct a free trial with them? Whatever your sort of sales process looks like, maybe you want to A/B test which ones are going to work best. Because again, you want to keep this very low barrier. With Loom videos, this is very low barrier because basically what you're doing is you're just saying, hey, I will send you something of no obligation. I'll go through a bit of an audit of what you're doing right now and maybe give you some improvements. So that's a really good way to get people, get that conversation going further on down the line compared to when you're just asking someone to go and get in for a booked call with you. So once you've offered your solution, that is when you're going to get more meetings booked into your calendar each and every single week. And what I do for my clients a lot of the time, and myself, is really focus on this timing element and making our message highly relevant. So for example, let's just go through some of these. If we know a company is hiring for a business development manager or specific job role at the moment, then when we ask them this question, they are a lot more likely to actually go and respond. Or let's say I'm an e-commerce growth marketing agency and I've figured out a way to understand a list of leads that are currently using Shopify, or they're currently using a specific tool to go and help with their conversion rate optimization. If I can send them a question and say, hey, are you using Shopify? Are you using this specific software at the moment to increase your conversion rate? Then that is going to be specific to that person. They're going to be thinking, okay, well, why is this person asking me this question? That's pretty relevant to me. Let me go and respond. Let me see what they've got to say. And if you're an SEO agency and you're reaching out to business owners and you're basically saying, are you currently using Google Search Console to help you with your SEO at the moment? Are you doing X, Y, and Z to help with your SEO at the moment? And if they're not, then that's your foot in the door and they can go and respond. Or with this is more of a generic question, which does work really well. So who's tackling your business development at the moment? Simple. And when I start to work with businesses and they explain, yes, we're doing lots of volume, we're doing some targeted outreach, but we're not getting any responses and it's really not looking good, I get them to just show me what they're actually sending to people and why it's not getting responses. And sometimes it's like twice as long as this email in itself. And I just think, I just ask them, would you actually respond to that? If you saw that in your inbox, like, would you actually go and respond and entertain what this person's got to say? And a lot of the time they say, no, probably not. That's a good point. So then back to the drawing board, and we either go and shorten the outreach message to make it a lot more concise. And a lot of the time I'll just get them to do simple questions like this just to go and get more responses. So then we can get people to that next stage. And if you do want some help with your lead generation strategy, click the link below and it will take you to a video where it just explains how I might be able to help you. I will see you on the next one. Peace.